Hi guys, thanks for watching. This is a tutorial based on the Amrezy liquid lipstick in Brooklyn. I am starting off obviously with my NIVEA Men's Post Aftershave Balm. This is my go-to primer. It just helps because my face is a little red and it just helps. Once that's tacky, any redness or anything that I have, I use the color correcting concealer from the Morphe palette. And I use the green one to cover up any redness that I have. And then I go in with my Maybelline Fit Me in the matte and poreless in the shade 228. And I use that with a Real Techniques sponge and obviously damp. And in my T-zone, I go in with the L'Oreal Infallible in the shade 104. I like to use this one in my T-zone and my nose, especially the areas that are most oily, because it just helps me to stay matte throughout the day. I couldn't find my concealers. Remember, I had it in my purse, so because I had a new one. I'm going in with the Urban Decay Naked Skin, the weightless concealer in the shade medium light neutral, and of course I put that on the to highlight my face, conceal under my eyes. I do like to do the triangle shape because it just works better for me. Down the bridge of my nose, and a little bit on my forehead, and a little bit on my chin. And once again, grabbing that Real Techniques sponge with the pointy end, and then I just blend it all in. And then I also flip it over to the side, the flat side that I use to use my foundation, just to blend it all in, make sure it's all nice and blended, and I don't have this big old harsh line from concealer to foundation. And then I'm going in with the Morphe translucent. This is not the translucent powder. This is the banana powder, just to brighten up under my under eyes. I didn't want anything too highlighted, so this is why I use the banana one, especially with a softer look. And sorry in advance that my mirror is in the way. I'm still getting used to filming in my new room. So I'm still trying to see where I can put my camera and stuff, but most of the time it's good. And then I'm going in with the concealer from the brow palette from Morphe, and I'm just using the concealer to highlight underneath my brows. That just helps my eyebrows look a little cleaner, and then makes it easier for me to fill them in. And just grabbing my e.l.f. small tapered brush, I just dust off all that powder. I don't really want to bake that much with this one. Just enough to set my concealer in. Next I'm going in with MAC's Soft Ochre Paint Pot for my primer. And I have so much powder, and I was wearing a black shirt, so blowing it off, dusting it off my shirt. But I use my finger just to rub it in, put it on my eyes, because I feel like the warmth from my finger just helps it blend in better. Next, the palette that I used the LORAC Mega 2 Pro palette And the color that I'm using to dust all over my eyes to set that paint pot is Custard. And I just use that on a Sigma E40 brush just because it's big and fluffy and just it's perfect to use to put powder all over to set the eyes. These are the colors that I use. The first color I'm going in is my transition color. I am using the color Tawny from the same palette. And I'm taking that on a Morphe. I'm taking that on a Morphe M513. That is my go-to brush for my transition colors because it has a little bit of a point in the middle. It is very tapered and I actually love it. It's perfect for put color in the crease and also and it blends so well. It blends all my colors from my transition colors and I can use that brush for one look by itself. So it's actually one of my favorite brushes. And I'm just going back with Tawny and I'm just going in with Tawny again, and then I'm just building it up to as much as I want to. I could leave it light, but then I just keep going in with it to the amount that looks right, just about right to me. As you see, I can go in circular motions just so that way it blends well. I like my eyeshadows blended. I don't like harsh lines, and that's my problem. That's my problem is that sometimes I blend too much and then I lose color. But I just go back, fill it in, keep going. Blend, 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 like they say in Food Cancel and no more. And then my next color that I go in with is right next to it, called Burlap. And I go in with the same brush, the same Morphe M513. And then I just I concentrate that more in the outer portion of my eye. Sorry, I had my music on. And then with my Luxie 231, I go in with the color Saddle. And then with Saddle, I just mainly concentrate that on the outer portion of my eye. And then just fanning it in, just lightly bringing it in, just to give my eyes more of a pulled cat eye look. I don't bring it all the way into my inner corner. I just keep it on the outside. Just so that way it has like a nice gradient look. And this brush is so nice, so fluffy. And I also got this one in my IPSY bag, and I'm so glad I did. And next I'm going in with the Morphe M174, and I'm using that color Custard again. I'm just packing that on my eyelid because I do want a bright eyelid, and this is a matte shade. And this brush is awesome to pack this on the lid. It's so big, so dense. Just makes it so easy to pack color on the lid. And then going back in with the 513, I just blend everything out, make sure there's no harsh lines. Here I'm going back in with that color Saddle and just intensifying the outer part of my eye again. I just felt like I lost a little bit of color when I was blending with the 513. Go back with my 513 and blend it all in again. And I'm just picking up a little bit more tawny, putting it on the crease. And next I'm taking the Morphe 124 and I'm picking up the color Gold Leaf with just on a dry brush, and just slightly putting it over my eyelid just to give a little bit of a reflect of gold, because I felt like it just needed a little hint of something. And when I was thinking about doing a look for this particular lipstick, this liquid lipstick, I had a really hard time trying to figure out what kind of look I wanted to pair with it. But I figured maybe just like a classic, glamorous, vintage kind of look, and with bright, bold lips. I thought, okay, well, let's try it out. And it actually turned out pretty good. I was pretty impressed about how it all just incorporated. Next, I'm taking my NYX JOLIE liner in the color brown, and I'm just tight lining the top of my eyes, because I'm going to be putting on lashes, and I just didn't want anything else to show through my skin. And of course, with my go-to eyeliner, my NYC liquid eyeliner. I mean, come on. If I gotta do a look that's based with an Amrezy liquid lip liner, I gotta go with the big wing just like she does. Go big or don't do it at all. Making sure that's dry. And then with my Morphe Brow 8, it's the same thing as the last time. Just brush out my eyebrows. And I go in first with the Anastasia Brow Wiz in soft brown, just to outline my eyebrows. I start off at the bottom. It's just the easiest way for me to do it, and then I just go on the top, because I do have pretty full eyebrows, but then there are some areas, especially like in the tail end, where I feel like I'm missing like a chunk, so that's why I feel like I have to do this first. So if you guys are interested in an eyebrow tutorial on how I do my brows, which I only use 3 products, then let me know in the comments below. But most of the time my eyebrow routine is the same. It works for me. Just brush it out. Make sure everything blends well. Now I'm going in with my Morphe brow palette, and the 2 colors that I showed you. I use the darker one in the outer half of my eyebrow, and then I use the lighter one, of course, in the front one, just so that way they blend all together. It blends nice. It like just a nice gradient effect. So that way it's not too harsh all the way around. And for that I use a MAC 266 brush, angled brush, just to brush it in. Obviously start with the dark color first, then go in with the light color. And then I go in with my NYX Control Freak gel, eyebrow gel. It works for me and it's very inexpensive. It just holds everything together, takes off any excess powder from my eyebrows, and holds everything in place. Make sure they all go in the same direction. Make sure you got no crazy looking eyebrows everywhere. And a little Selena action right there, sorry. Next I'm going in with a light contour. I'm using the Benefit bronzer in Hoola. And with this I go in with a e.l.f. mineral powder brush. I have a hard time finding a really good contour brush. I mean, I have the Morphe really flat one and I've been playing with it, trying to get used to it. But this one works for me right now because I didn't want a sharp contour. I wanted a kind of bronzy more look. And I don't really contour my nose, so I just use whatever I have left over on my nose. And then I got this color, it's by Mellow, and the color is bronze. I got this in my IPSY bag, which I just received yesterday. And I really like it. It's not too orange, not too peach, not too bronze. It's actually a perfect neutral blush. And I take that using a Makeup Geek angled brush. This is like one of the first ones that they came out with. The handle is like reddish. I'm a rabbit Makeup Geek from old school when they started. Then I also received my new Tarte Skin Twinkle highlight palette, so I had to definitely use that. And I spritz my Morphe 461. It's a dual fiber brush. I spritz that with some Fix Plus, and I took the color Sunlight and highlighted them cheekbones. Took a little bit, put it on my tip of my nose, just so all my highlight can balance out. And then I took my Urban Decay Chill Makeup Setting Spray, just so everything can set, all my powders. And I took a little bit more of the Sunlight on a smaller dome brush and just popped it into the inner corners of my eyes, just to brighten up my eyes a little bit. And then I noticed that a lot of people don't like the middle shade, the filtered light, but I found that it works pretty good in the inner corner, more of like a brightening matte shade. So it works good for my inner corner. Next, I am taking my KOKO lashes in the style Bella, and I'm going to pop those on. But before that, we obviously have to put on some mascara. My go-to mascara right now is the Benefit Roller Lash Mascara. So then just pop on them eyelashes. And my adhesive, the glue that I use is the House of Lashes. And I use I just ordered the little sample one, and I use the dark one. It just works better for me. Now, if you're new to eyelashes, these I wouldn't recommend because the band is pretty thick and it takes a little bit getting used to. But if you're into a thick, very dramatic, not very dramatic, but really these, honestly, I think these are my favorite. And then after that, it's Queen Bee. But these, because they fan out at the end, they're just so nice. They really give you like that cat eye effect. And next, my lip liner that I use to pair with the liquid lipstick is the NYX in Nude Truffle. I just use that to line my lips, fill it in a little bit. A little over outlining, but it's okay. And then, of course, the star of the show is the Amrezy liquid lipstick in Brooklyn. When I first thought I was going to use this, I was like, ooh, this is totally out of my comfort zone. But you know what? It's makeup. You can take it off. You don't like it, take it off. Do something else. But for me, I want to do stuff out of my comfort zone. I want to try new things. And this one was definitely new and out there for me. You know, I loved it. And it's so amazing. The color is so beautiful. And I'm glad I decided to do a look with this liquid lipstick. Then I went back, put some highlighter on my Cupid's bow, and that pretty much finishes up the look. Thanks again for watching, and see you on the next one.